Welcome back, Wolfpack Brothers here, and this is how to use Bibarel. Now, Bibarel, very crazy, weird Pokemon, because when you look at space stats, you don't really see much. 79 on the hit points, 85 as its highest stat. Let's break this Pokemon down. 85 attack, that's its highest stat right there. Then 60s on the defenses. Really, when I try to make a tanky Pokemon, I'm looking for like 80 hit points with 80s or more on the defense. So even fully investing this Pokemon as a tank, you don't get much out of. The attack and speed, it's a joke to make this Pokemon a sweeper. What are we going to do with Bibarel? Well, first we're going to look at its typing. Water, normal type. We have that ghost immunity, but then we have fighting, grass, and electric weaknesses. So the weaknesses do stack up. We do gain some decent resistances, steel, fire, water, and ice. So this Pokemon, it's kind of a balanced tank, but not really, and it doesn't really do too much. So let's just go straight to Pokemon Showdown, where we find out this Pokemon may be more powerful than you expect because of its abilities. Its abilities do crazy things. You have simple ability. This Pokemon's stat changes have double effect, and that means that you can combo this with a lot of really crazy things, and it has the Moody ability. Very few Pokemon get this ability, and generally ones that do get it have low base damages and base stats and stuff, because it raises a random stat by 2 and lowers another one at the end of each turn. So you gain defense, you gain speed, you gain attack. Now you suddenly become a threatening Pokemon out of nowhere. Now, sure it is RNG, but you can still like kind of at least pair this with a couple things and get some strength out of it. Also, the Unaware ability. Unaware, still a very strong ability. They've tried to do things like Swords Dance. It's going to be really good against that. The thing is, Bibarel doesn't have the base stats to make Unaware really work, so it is a strong ability, but we're going to be focusing more on Simple and Moody, and my idea is Simple with just some kind of Curse Amnesia setup. Now, I do spam Curse Amnesia a lot. That's because it does give Pokemon that normally don't have a fighting chance a really good chance. That, say you come in against a Pokemon using setup, or they really don't expect your strategy or anything, so you come in and you use Curse. Now, it's going to give you 50% more defense. However, with Bibarel, Simple ability is doubling your defense, so we're going to go that Curse, and now we're a 362 hit point Pokemon with 219, well, over 400 defense now, and that's going to make us fairly tanky. I like the idea of Chesto Berry with Rest, because you go in with the Curse, and then you get maybe another Curse or an Amnesia or something, and then you just go and rest it away. Chesto Berry wakes you up, so now you're at full health. You're awake. Since you're pretty slow, you might be one of the last Pokemon to go. Actually, you're definitely going to be last, because you're also dropping 2 speed, but you're a tank, so it doesn't matter. So you're going to wake up, you're going to be fresh, and then you can just go into more stats or something like that. And then Amnesia. Amnesia is going to go up by 4 times, so instead of gaining 2, you gain 4 with the Simple ability, thus tripling your special, which is why I was thinking, might as well just go with the Careful Nature, get that base special defense investment, put the rest in the hit points in defense, try to survive those hits, and then next thing you know, boom, tripling that special defense, getting over 500 special defense in 1 turn, and now it's just going to be really hard to retaliate damage onto you, and they pretty much have to be hitting you super. Fortunately, fighting grass and electric, they aren't incredibly common compared to other things that you see more like ground and rock and ice and things like that. So, while you will see them from time to time, it's not like you always have to be worried about one of these moves getting thrown at you, and then you just go for the damage. You know, you use Curse 3 times, now you have max attack. So that means that 206 attack is going to be going up to 800, over 800. So Waterfall, stab damage, going to be powerful. The flinch really doesn't matter, but then you just go for a sweep from there, and that's kind of the idea behind the Bibarel. After that, we can also go with the Moody ability. Moody is going to kind of be the same idea, except you play around it a little differently. I like Curse because it's going to keep that damage high, so it's going to be Chesto Resto, but this time we have Protect instead of Amnesia, and we're going to be relying off of special defense on that Moody ability. So pretty much the first turn, Protect, hope for the best. Maybe you'll get a defensive gain against something that they're doing. If not, you're always using Cursed. You're going to be gaining Moody while sleeping, and then you just kind of use your Protects on the turn you wake up. That way you can still at least stall people out, and you get a lot of effect out of this. So eventually, after a couple turns, you know, you might gain Evasion. You gain +2 Evasion, you gain +2 on the defenses, your special defense. With the max hit point, max special defense investment, fairly decent. Like, you're going to be able to tank up 2 or 3 hits even with this, and then you Chesto Resto, and then hope for more special defense, and eventually you'll make it like +5/+4 attack, and then you start using Waterfall, and then you destroy everything. Well, everything except for Water Absorb Pokemon, and that's really the only thing that this strategy has to worry about, or Water Absorb, but you're still looking at a lot of base damage, and if you get that one little in, with a Simple ability, you really just need 1 turn to run away with the battle, and from there, really the only thing that can stop you are crits. And then we can look at the same idea, but for Eviolite, Bidoof. Bidoof can be super powerful because, I mean, let's look at the Eviolite stats. Sure, our hit points aren't much to write home about, but then with the Eviolite, we max out the hit points, we split our defenses, we go with a defensive nature because generally they're more physical Pokemon in the game. We get our Eviolite boost, we keep Simple, and then we run this, except it's not going to have Chesto Berry, it's just going to have Eviolite, but the same idea applies. Hopefully you can get a couple of boosts off before you go into an early rest, then you go for the damage. Now the thing is, Bidoof can't learn Waterfall and it's a pure normal typing, so we just give it Secret Power. Secret Power is going to get stabbed, be a decent amount of damage, but the cool thing about Secret Power is that it has a 30% chance to paralyze when you're doing link battles, so you might get that paralysis, could slow your opponent down a bit, and you're still throwing out some good damage, so that could be a really fun thing to do. And then the last Bibarel set, pretty trolly. The idea is using Double Team. Double Team with Simple becomes a minimize effectively, so you're getting +2 evasion, and then you can do a lot of really silly things. You can go with Protect, that we have like a Toxic Stall with Protect, and then you can use Super Fang. So this can get walled out by Steel types, Poison types, Pokemon that aren't going to take a lot of damage from Super Fang. So it is like a generic Toxic Stall, but it can be really hilarious that you're gaining really fast evasion and then you just hide behind like a Toxic with Protect and Leftovers. And then you can also maybe incorporate this idea that maybe you just run without Amnesia. So let's go and put in Double Team here. Now the problem is we are losing our insane special boosting, which means we are going to have to go with like a Careful Nature. So max out our special defense, and then we just kind of use Curse and Double Team, gain boosts, and eventually we're going to be untouchable while still doing crazy amounts of damage. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. That's how you use Bibarel and Bidoof. I hope you all have a nice day.